Attention, food stamp beneficiaries and Medicaid enrollees. You may want to take a run for it as they're coming for you, and it's all highlighted right here in this article, which I will be popping up on the screen for in just a minute, as this is getting really, really ugly, and this is getting nasty. But I'm going to break it all down for you here in this video so you can see exactly what's going on, the millions and millions of people that are going to be impacted by this, the number of people that may be losing benefits and or coverages as well. Oh man, it's getting nasty. Seriously, we are getting right down to the wire on this. I'm going to pop this up for you in a second so you can see the numbers, but I want to talk you through the details of this as well as what is hitting the wire now, because things are changing nearly daily, okay? As they work through the final stretch on these piece of legislation, the reconciliation bill, it's changing all the time. So it's getting a little volatile out there, and I want to break it down for you. Now, before we get into this any further, I want to make this very clear here. I'm talking about Medicaid, not to be mistaken with Medicare, okay? I want to make that very, very clear. Now, I do recognize, and it will also say it here in this article as well, those individuals that are dually covered, Medicare and Medicaid, okay? It mentions it right here in this article as well. So you might see that, but most of which what we're talking about here is Medicaid, not Medicare, okay? So I want to make that very clear. I know there's a lot of us out there that are enrolled in Medicare. I know there's a lot of people enrolled in Medicaid, okay? Either way, just want to clarify that really quickly. All right, anyway, you ready for this? Yeah, I know, right? All right, let's pop this up right here, right now. You can follow along. I'm not going to read it to you, but rather you can just kind of scan through it. I'm going to point out some key numbers and statistics that I want to bring to your attention. Okay, first off, lawmakers, they're working on the reconciliation bill. They're going to be cutting, can I say that word, right? Cutting, reducing expenditures, whatever you want to say, to SNAP benefits at a tune of about $300 billion. They're also going to be reducing expenditures on Medicaid. Well, it's still up for grabs right now. It looks like $880 billion. It looks like that number is going to be coming down quite a bit. We'll see, right? It's still up in the air right now. We don't have totally solid numbers quite yet, okay? Point being is that either way, it's a lot of money, hundreds of billions of dollars. Okay, a couple different things I want to point out. As you can see here in this article, based on these preliminary numbers, based on what they're projecting, these simple changes to the SNAP program, otherwise known as food stamps or EBT, will likely generate the loss of benefits for about 4 million beneficiaries. Give or take a little bit, about 4 million people, by the way. Quick little side note, there's about 42 million people enrolled in SNAP benefits right now. So taking the rolls from about 42 million down to about 38 million, if it is true that 4 million people lose benefits. Okay, that's that. Now, Medicaid, okay? Cutting Medicaid, as in, when I say cutting, what I really mean by that is implementing and instituting work requirements. More on that in just a second, okay? Keep that in mind here, work requirements. Anyway, I'll come back to that in just a second. But they're suggesting implementing these changes on Medicaid could reduce rolls by about 14 million people. There's a couple different numbers here in the article, between 10 million and 14 million people. Okay, anywhere between that range. Regardless of how you cut it, that's a lot of people. Right now, there's about 72 million people enrolled in Medicaid. Okay, not Medicare, Medicaid, 72 million people. Okay, well, if we cut the rolls by, say, 10 million people, that brings us down to 62 million. If we cut it by 14 million beneficiaries, that'd go from 72 million down to 58 million people is who would be enrolled in Medicaid, okay? Regardless of how you cut it, again, it's a pretty big reduction to people enrolled and being covered right there, okay? It also suggests that this would result in about 4 to 7 million people, give or take a little bit there, that would be uninsured at that point. Okay, well, there's a lot of big numbers. These are a lot of big numbers, right? Okay, so anyway, that's kind of some of the information that I wanted to point out. Now, back to the work requirement thing. Now, the work requirement that they're talking about right now would be applied across the board to both food stamps, otherwise known as SNAP benefits, some people call it EBT, it's all referring to the same thing, and Medicaid alike, okay? Medicaid, food stamps, they basically have the same work requirement parameters for both, okay? All of this is still a little bit subject to change here, but every day that goes by, we're getting closer and closer to solidifying this. What I mean by that is writing it in stone and signing it off by the president. So, point being, It's all subject to change. It could all easily change here, but just want to point this out for you. Okay, next, let's talk about the work requirements super fast here. I talked about this just the other day in a separate video, but I do want to talk about it again really quickly. Okay, work requirements. In general, right now, Medicaid does not have a work requirement. Okay, Medicaid, no work requirement in general. There are a couple states out there that have tried work requirements on Medicaid. It didn't really work all that well. But anyway, they want to try it now on the federal level, not on the state level, on the federal level, as in, when I say federal, anytime it's a state rule, it's always just in the confines of the state. In other words, within the borders of the exact state. When it's federal, it's all encompassing, okay? Anything that is federal is all encompassing. The entire country, everybody must follow the rule when it's federal. Kind of make sense? Okay? Just a quick little rule of thumb, if that helps a little bit. Okay, anyway, work requirements being ages 18 to 64, work requirement, 20 hours per week. Okay, this is again across the board for food stamps and Medicaid. 18 to 64 age requirement, or age range, I should say, sorry. And 20 hours per week, 80 hours per month, and things like work training, skill training, education, all qualify as fulfilling the work requirement. Now, there are some exemptions to the rule, as in people that are exempt from the work requirement. Pregnant women, exempt. People with disabilities, exempt. Okay? There's a couple other ones that are out there as well. There's a couple others. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, I would have to look into the other ones a little bit closer here. I don't want to say something if it's not 100% accurate. But again, there's a couple other niche categories in there as well. But those are the really big ones that are out there. Mostly the ones with people with disabilities. There's a lot of people out there that have some kind of disability. And again, disability, it doesn't matter what it is. If somebody is disabled, they're not considered an able-bodied adult without dependent, or I should say able-bodied adult. Sorry, that's kind of what I meant there. But if somebody is not able-bodied because they have a disability, they're exempt from the work requirement, okay? So the work requirement is for able-bodied adults without dependents, is what they're really focusing on here. That's what that's all about, okay? Now, the dependent structure is also pretty much the same here, which is somebody would be considered a dependent under the age of 7, versus right now, the current rule states anybody under the age of 18 in a household is considered a dependent. But now, the dependent threshold would be lowered to under the age of 7, which is really, really low, in my opinion. But okay, whatever. That's what they're suggesting, okay? Now, again, all of this is subject to change, but this is what we're looking at right now for both food stamps and Medicaid alike, okay? I'll keep you posted on this. I want to keep you informed of what's going on here, but this is what we know as of now. Now, let me throw this out there super fast as well. If you are dual coverage of Medicaid and Medicare, please call them right here, right now. Seriously, you've got to make that phone call right now. Talk to them. It's a free resource, 100% free resource right here. This team of trusted advisors, a 100% free resource. Call them and talk to them about this. Ask them, hey, I heard this is coming in. I know that this is going to be a thing. I'm dual covered Medicare, Medicaid. What are my options here? Okay? Please establish that. As a dual covered Medicaid and Medicare beneficiary, you have options to go in and out of plans all year long. You don't have special enrollment windows where you can go in and out of plans. The window you have is all year. You can go in and out of plans all you want, okay? Point being, please call them. Do yourself a favor now. Call them, establish that communication, talk to them, see what your options are. Because if this comes in, I can tell you this much. There's going to be a ton of people calling them, and they're going to be swamped. Okay, call them now. Establish that communication now and see what your options are. Just ask them questions. Okay, you don't need to buy anything. It's not a sales call. All I'm saying is that call them, ask them questions. It's a free resource of trusted advisors. They're working, helping seniors here in this community literally every single day, and they're helping you save money, get better coverages, get the plans that cover you best, all the details like that. They have access to over 20,000 plans, and they're helping those of you here in this community literally every single day. I've seen the numbers. Thousands and thousands and thousands of you here in this community have called them and received help from them, which is absolutely incredible. Anyway, Utilize that service. Seriously, please utilize that, especially during a time right now when we know this is changing, and you saw it right there in the article that I had up for you. Dual covered Medicare, Medicaid is going to be impacted the most potentially by this. They can help. Seriously, call them. Please call them. You'll do yourself a huge favor by doing that, and see what your options are with this major change that's coming in. They will know the details. And again, ask them all the questions you want. That's what they're there for. Anyway, they'll find you the best plans so you can have the doctor access you want, the prescription needs if you have any at all, the offices, the clinics you want to go to, the networks you want to be within, whatever happens to be, they'll find all of that for you and present your options, especially with these changes that are coming in here, okay? Anyway, please stay tuned on this. I will keep you posted as we get more information on this. It's still a developing situation right now, but this is what we know as of now. I will keep you posted as we get more information. Things are changing rapidly. I've been saying this for months. Been saying it for months and months. If you don't believe me, go back and look at my track record. Scroll back 3, 4, 5, 6 months here on the channel in videos. Look, I've been talking about this for months, saying get ready. Food stamps, SNAP benefits, EBT benefits, Medicaid. It's all ending. Okay, sorry, I shouldn't say ending. It's all being disrupted massively. These programs are going to be disrupted. They're going to be changing the rules, changing the parameters in a massive way. I've been saying this for a very long time, and it's here. It's happening right now. Anyway, you get it. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to keep you informed. And like I said at the beginning of the video, maybe you just want to take a run for it. I mean, seriously, right? they're like the predator, pursuing, right? Just run, climb a tree. I don't know what you got to do. Just get out of here. Just run, right? Anyway, I'm here for you anywhere that I can be. Thank you so much for being part of the community. Also, let me ask you a huge favor. Who do you know that is also enrolled in Medicare or dually covered Medicare, Medicaid? I know you know a few people, friends, family members, neighbors, acquaintances, siblings, coworkers, parents, neighbors down the street, neighbors down the hall, the lady that walks the dog by 6 times a day. You know who they all are, right? We know. We've all got a couple where we live, right? Anyway, please share that phone number with them. Let's help some people right now get access to this free resource and to front run these major changes and get the necessary help that they need now before this comes in and changes massively. Anyway, if you're new here, if you've not done so yet, please consider subscribing. Big subscribe button down below the video. Please share the video. Big share button down below. Check out the other nearly 6,000 videos here on the channel in the video library. The popular videos I've hand selected for you down below in the description or popping up on your screen in just a minute. You'll see some videos there. Check those out. Otherwise, until next time, please have a nice day. Take care. And I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you again soon in the very next video. Have a good